road to 100K, making progress. It's been a good, I don't know, it's Tuesday. I was going to say it's been a good week, like it's the end of the week, but it's been a good 5 days. I'm doing my 100-hour work block, so 10-hour days. Just figured, why not? And then I have this tracking software that I keep track of everything in. So I have all of my time that I've put in the last 5 days, which is 50 hours, categorized. The point in doing that is so that after my 10-hour days, I can evaluate where I've spent my time and be like, this makes sense or this doesn't make sense. Basically figure out where the highest ROI, what the highest ROI place I can spend my time. Because you could really do anything with your hours, but you want to get the most out of the least amount of hours. We have the same number of hours as Elon Musk, and he is very, very wealthy. So it's really about how we spend these hours. So I was like, let's start tracking my time that I put into stuff and tracking the output, because then I can actually see what's working. That's cool. Another thing, I've been making friends, not in the past few days because I've been working, but I met this guy. He owns a pest control business, so he takes care of like bed bugs and roaches, and he owns a business that's been 4 months old. Anyway, it's been really cool to have somebody who his business is about the same age as mine that's also like entrepreneur, go get it. Like he's hustling. I mean, he's putting, I wouldn't say he's better than me, but he's borderline better than me. And it's not very often that I talk to somebody and I'm like, this dude is borderline better than me. Which maybe, well, yeah, I mean, that's just it. So it's been really cool to meet this guy. But what it's made me realize is that I need to find more people that are doing stuff, that are making stuff happen, that are ahead of me and can mentor me, because I've got the consistency, like I'm showing up every day, but more guidance would be helpful. I mean, it never hurts. Because, oh man, it is literally, I have 16 hours a day because you have to sleep for 8. So how do I spend those hours to get the most return? That's the question. And I think having a mentor would help, like, answer that question. Because he can be like, hey, you need to learn this software. Hey, you need to do X, Y, Z. And that would speed up my progression. Right now, what do I think I should be spending my time on? I have basically 3 categories. I should either be doing my service, so doing estimates and fixing stuff, selling my service, or improving my service. So building systems, like swapping out a ceiling light, building a really efficient system for doing that, so having all my electrical components organized nicely in a caddy that I can carry in, and then having a lightweight ladder that I can put in, and maybe a drop cloth just in case, to protect the surrounding area. Put the drop cloth down, bring the ladder in, got my caddy with all the tools I need. Boom, efficiency. So I should either be selling my service, improving my service, or doing my service. Those are kind of my 3 big categories. And I would really say most, if not all of my time is spent in those categories. There is some outside stuff. So like Nick, the guy who does pest control, called me and we just like talked for 20 minutes about business. That's not going to directly make any progress within my business, but it's like, it is helpful to talk to somebody else who's also running a business and doing stuff, and just like brainstorm with each other. He can tell me like I'm being a dumb idiot, and if I have some sort of idea or mindset. So it's really cool. And we're not afraid to tell each other like, hey, what you just said literally makes no sense. So it's been a mutually beneficial relationship. I am making some Egos. There's really nothing better than working a good day and just like, boom. I started doing these streams because pretty much entirely because I want to watch them in like 5 years and see. And I think when I am successful, it would be cool to be able to go back and be like, hey, this is what was going through my mind when I was trying to build this business or whatever. You know, I am pretty confident I'm going to get where I want to go because I don't know why I'm confident, because I don't see my life happening any other way than getting what I want. So these streams are like, I don't know, a catalog for that, so I can look back in a few years. Oh yeah, my last mindset shift was like, what if you just did the thing? What if you had your idea, you thought of the next steps to achieve it, and then you went and did it? So yesterday I called every hardware store and every paint store in my area, and I was just like, hey, this is a little bit random, but I was wondering if you ever have customers coming in looking for a handyman. All the painting stores like Sherwin-Williams and Anderson Paint, all of them said yes, but it didn't sound like there were people coming in all the time. Anyway, I was like, I want to be that handyman that you refer. So I went in and said hi to all of them. I've got business cards on the way, so I'm gonna drop the business cards in there in like a week or two when they come in. But I wanted to get the ball rolling and just like walk in, shake some hands, meet some people, and then I'll swing by again in a couple weeks and drop my cards off. Anyway, so paint stores were great. They're customers that occasionally come in looking for contractors. They have a board that they give out cards. I'm gonna get in all of those. Hardware stores, when I talked to the employees of hardware stores, they were like, oh yeah, we have people asking us all the time for a handyman. Unfortunately, I talked to all the Ace Hardwares, and everyone was like, yeah, we already got Ace Handyman, which is like a system where they have their own, like, I actually don't know how it's set up, but they have their own handyman, so they're not going to refer me directly. And the reason that's unfortunate is because in my area, there is like 10 hardware stores and 8 of them are Ace Hardware. So it's like most of my potential referral like business is already blocked by Ace Hardware, but there are 2 or 3 that are not Ace Hardware, just locally owned. And I've stopped into 2 of them and introduced myself. So I still have to do the 3rd one. One is gonna hand out my contact info. One said they don't hand out contact info unless you have had customers come in and share their experience with you. So basically, what happens is these businesses will refer a handyman, and then the handyman will be bad, and then the customer will call the hardware store and be like, hey, you sent this guy, and he's absolutely terrible, and he messed everything up, and they get mad at the hardware store. So the hardware store is like, I'm not going to refer people that are bad. So now the hardware store only refers people who have a good reputation and are established in the community. So I was talking to the owner of this hardware store, and I was like, what do I have to do to get on your list? And he was like, well, we like to see our people shopping here, because I didn't shop in the hardware store. So I was like, okay, I can shop here. I'm doing stuff. And then he said he has to have customers say good things about me. So that day I called up two of my customers and I was like, hey, would you do me a huge favor and call in and just share your experience? So then I got two people to do that. And I think that, well, and the icing on the cake, that all happened yesterday. And then I had a job today and I went to buy hardware there. So, like, hopefully I'll get on his list and then he'll start handing my card out. It's a really good. What's cool about this hardware store is that I've talked to a lot of people in the local area and they're all like, this hardware store is the boss. They all love it because they promote customer service and have a really good brand. So if I can, like, get my name referred out by them, it's going to be, I don't know, that's not going to hurt anything. And then what's cool about the time tracking is that I'm going to be able to see exactly how many hours I put into this, I'm calling it a referral machine. How many hours have I spent trying to sell these businesses on myself? And then over the next few months, I'll be able to see the return on that. And then I also have, what's even cooler is I have a tracking number on all the business cards. So when people call in, I can see exactly where they called from, which in this case would be my business cards. So that's like cool. I still need to do all realtors and property managers. So I don't know if I'm gonna call all of them. I think I'm just gonna stop in once my business cards arrive and just like might take me. I mean, I think there's would be like 30 places I'd have to stop. So it might take me like 20 or 30 hours to do. But out of that, I mean, when you're looking at a realtor or a property manager, it doesn't take very many good relationships to get a lot of work. So that's kind of the plan. And then I'm going to look into the Ace Handyman service situation. So like Ace Hardware has their own handyman service, but I'm pretty sure they subcontract everything out. So how do I be one of the subcontractors is kind of the question. So I'm going to look into that probably. I'll probably get to that tomorrow. So, big stuff. Oh man, these waffles are just delicious.